I'm Lloyd Holiday, and this is the Cost of a Thing podcast. Thanks for listening in today. The cost of a thing is the amount of time that you must spend working to buy the things that you want and need. And that directly determines your standard of living. Okay, this is podcast number 8. It's kind of a supplement to the podcast number 5 that I did called the Super College Ripoff. And today we're going to be talking about the college admissions scandal a little bit. So it looks like a lot of parents were cheating and paying off officials and so forth to try to get into these so-called prestige universities. And it's really not surprising. It's just another form of corruption. And it's kind of comical in a way because the way they're flailing around trying to get into these schools thinking that maybe their kid will get a better education there at these prestige schools. And somehow these schools have the magic secret set of scrolls that they're going to be able to teach their kid so he can really get ahead, and nobody else has this information that they're going to get at these prestige schools. And that's all baloney, because all of the schools pretty much teach the same thing. They know what each other are teaching, and if there's something new coming out, they'll know about it, and it'll be taught by no matter which school you go. If you go to a state school or a city college, junior college, they're teaching the same thing. If you're taking a calculus course at a junior college, it's going to be the same course you're going to get at the prestige university. If you're studying your first 2 years of engineering school, basically you're studying the works of Isaac Newton and the laws of motion and the laws of physics, and he invented the calculus, so you're studying calculus and physics basically. That's the first 2 years of any engineering degree. I don't care where it is. And really what they're after, I think they know that. I think they know that they teach pretty much the same thing as the other colleges. But what the parents are after is that brand name. They're after that brand. And that they think if they have that brand on their resume, that they may get a better shot at that higher paying job or that better corporation to work for, or law firm, or whoever they're going to work for. They want that brand on that resume, and that's the prestige brand, and that's what they're looking for. And they don't care if they learn anymore. It's just that they got that brand on there. And those universities, those prestige universities, they certainly cultivate that brand. And everything they do is about cultivating that brand. That's why they want to try to get the top students in there that they think are the top students. So if they ever do accomplish anything after they get out of college, then they can say, well, he went to this prestige university over here, and then they get a little feather in their cap for that. So they're always looking to make their university look the best by doing that. And I don't think the prestige degree with the prestige stamp on your resume, I don't think that really bears out in the real world. Most of the time, the big breakthroughs or the really talented people, a lot of them don't even go to college. They look at the Beatles and like Michael Jackson. I mean, it was just raw talent, that they got where they were. They weren't like PhD music students or graduates from any prestige university. They just had that raw talent. Elvis, I don't think any of them ever went to college, even went to college. They just had raw musical talent. And so it doesn't really bear out in the real world. A lot of the breakthroughs happen from people who just went to regular colleges, even if they are a technical background. In my opinion, the prestige degree is basically some kind of a half-ass pedigree, or maybe a Wizard of Oz ribbon, that was handed out in the Wizard of Oz, one of those ribbons. Yeah, that's what I see it as. And all this competition, this intense competition where they're willing to go to jail and pay any price to get into these places, thinking it's going to make their life so much better to have that. It's like I say, it's rather comical to see this level of stupidity and just ridiculousness going on. And if these guys coming out of these prestige universities really were so great, guys and gals, wouldn't they have solved the world's problems by now? We've got more problems than ever, and they haven't solved them. In fact, instead, it's almost just the opposite. They go to these schools and they learn how to game the system. In fact, a lot of these guys wind up on Wall Street, and they learn how to make a lot of money for themselves in their prestige school. They're not helping the society, the general. They're not having the big breakthroughs that we would hope. And I hope they do. It'd be great. Any breakthrough that anybody gets makes life better or standard of living a little better. I'm all for that, but I don't see it coming from the prestige schools. Like I said, it's just the opposite of that. Instead of having these big breakthroughs and helping mankind and making our lives better, they're actually taught how to game the system and get a lot of money for themselves at the expense of the rest of us. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this podcast on the college admissions scandal. Seems to me a lot of what they teach at these prestige schools is to their students is how to become a middleman and have money funneled to you from the rest of society. And I think that's not good for our standard of living, and that's why I'm talking about this today. Okay, thank you for listening in today, and until next time, this is Lloyd Holiday signing off.